I almost feel like doing another public apology, only this time to my brother. It felt all wrong. At the same time, we were having probably the most affectionate conversation we've had in many years. Or soon after it, anyway. Very soon after it. I uploaded a video in which I read out what he had said in his messages. Some of it could have been left out, of course, i.e. the bits that probably hurt him the most. I was only trying to make a point that I didn't make clear. I think that the reason that he could not read until he was 10 or so was trauma. And I should have made it clearer, much clearer. I did call the video trance, but he used the phrase dream state to describe his childhood. Also describing his childhood as if he was in a trance. And it did very much back up what I had been saying all along about my state of mind, except that the trance-like state, the dream-like state, affected me much more from my teens until the moment my father died. Pretty much. I did have moments of partial awakening. No wonder my father didn't want me educated, because as soon as I began to be educated, some things became clear. My evening classes, I did 7 of them, were possibly not in order, I'm not sure I remember anymore. Child development, which was actually not about a child's physical development, but a child's psychological development. Sociology, psychology proper. You see, that's 3. Law. This is definitely not in order. Human biology. Maths, French. Is that 7? I don't know. Obviously, some of those were eye-openers, especially the sociology and psychology. And law. And I think that did begin a partial awakening from about 1986. No, 1985, at which point I was 31. And my father died when I was just under 40. I was not awake enough. I had not come out of my trance enough. And didn't really, it was in gradual stages. One awakening was in 2002, at which time my father had been dead 8 years. And it was only in 2002 that I really understood what I had seen him do to a 10-year-old child. Before that, prior to that, I had believed his explanation that he was applying antiseptic cream to the child in question because she was sore. But every contact I had with my father, it didn't even have to be in person, it could be over the phone, would immediately plunge me into a fog. It was an extraordinary effect that he had on me. And I guess it was from the time that I got crab lice from him. So 15, say. I would feel when I was, as I say, even over the phone or in his company, I would feel as if I were a broken puppet in a fog. So when my brother did talk about dream states and trances for his entire childhood, of course that resonated, and of course I did feel it was important to record it. It wasn't important to record. I think it's only had 6 views. Not that would be much comfort to my brother. It wasn't important to record that he couldn't read till he was 10. I merely saw that as a side effect of the trauma he'd been through, and perhaps, well, obviously, doesn't remember, which is about to earn me another black mark. I do feel very bad that at virtually the same time we were, it seemed, feeling quite affectionate towards one another. I uploaded a video which might have humiliated him, potentially. So, in part, this is an apology if I did betray him. Because I don't want to die estranged from my brother. But I also don't want to die with the truth of our lives untold. And very specifically for me, the times when I entered very definite trances were when I saw him abuse the child in question, when I saw my mother's body and heard my father's description of her death, and when I got his phone call about Fiona. I almost woke from that trance when I walked into Ellen's that evening and we discovered the discrepancy in time. That my father had known about Fiona's death, as I said so many times, before anyone else except the boyfriend, Robin Stoddart. And neither of them had contacted the authorities. I almost awoke that afternoon or evening when I spoke to Ellen, and then instantly shut down again. And there was a moment during the inquest when it's rather clear that the same thing happened. I wrote Robin Rivers, and that was that. Nothing else. Robin Rivers takes up the entire line. Ellen did not want the inquest notes, I said this so many times. And it was so easy then to put them away in a drawer, which eventually went into a box, which eventually went into a shed. And I forgot everything that was on those inquest notes. I remember being astounded when my older daughter actually criticized my father's driving. She was, I don't know, a teenager perhaps, if that. Which means I was certainly into my 30s. I would have never dreamed of criticizing his driving or anything else that he did. I guess that does mean anything, doesn't it? I have said in some other video that I have begun to understand women like Peter Sutcliffe's wife, Elizabeth Fritzl's mother, and so on. And I have said that if you live with a man whom you know to be very dangerous, a trance-like state is probably the safest. Because as much as you don't want him to get away with what he's done to other people, there is always some subconscious awareness that what he has done to other people can be done again. And most of us have people in our lives that we love and don't want anything bad to happen to. And I feel as if I'm making excuses, but it actually is how it was. A trance that was partially induced through some combination of drugs and hypnosis many, many times in childhood, but eventually became a permanent state whenever I was with my father. Yes, it was dynamite to me when my brother said that he too had been in a trance. But I also do feel I betrayed him by saying so on video.